Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We've got MARU here. It's the quarterfinals of the ESL Masters Spring held in Dallas last weekend, and I am finally casting a game that I did not get to cast when I was down there live. What an exciting matchup it always is with MARU and Hero. And remember, the context of this match is that Hero in the top right for Dragon Kaiser Gaming, MARU for Vitality, two of the best players for their respective races in the world. Problem, MARU not only is favored versus Hero in head-to-head, he's beat him the last two times they've played in big series, including just a week or two before this game. They've played in that big Star Wars LAN finals over in China, where Hero, he looked like he was going to win. He was up, what, 4-3, I think it was? But he threw that very first map of the entire series. Pretty badly from a massive lead. Took an awful fight on a cliff, and that really cost him, because in the end, he did end up losing a 4-5, one of the closest finals we've seen in a while. On the other hand, as bad as that is for Hero, the fact that he's lost twice in a row to MARU in big tournaments, on the other hand, in general, it's a 2-1 win record for MARU over Hero. So usually MARU wins 2, Hero wins 1. MARU wins 2, Heroes win, Hero wins 1. And that's why, you know, yeah, I mean, there's the GSL finals they played in as well, right? Where Hero put up a pretty good showing. That was actually a very close GSL finals in Season 1, wasn't it? It was incredibly close. That was also one of the best finals we've seen in a while. So these two have put out banger after banger. We're going to see a proxy starport Hellion drop for MARU to start. Hero has gone for a no scout build and a gold base. Gold base is very risky. We'll see how it goes. Starport's on the way up there in the top left side of the map, or top center, I should say. No command center for MARU just yet. This needs to do damage. Oh! The fudge? Guys, is he going double Cyclone Medevac? Okay, this series is going to start off in the way which, well, Oracle's best here. Where's he rallied to? Just there. If he goes Oracle, that's the best case. Phoenix, I don't think you're going to get enough Phoenix to be able to take out the units there. Okay, Oracle times out there. He's got a shield battery and a stalker defending. He's going to get a bit of a boost on the gold minerals, this Hero. The problem is, yeah, I was thinking Liberator is actually probably a better choice. Liberator's going to either... You can siege there and just zone out the entire gold minerals without the stalkers even being able to hit you. So that's why Liberate is so powerful on this map. You can also float it around the back, siege up the main base while Cyclones hit from here. Problem, you haven't even started your command center. So as MARU, you're pretty far behind in terms of mining. You have to deny that mining. And if Hero just backs off and chills, he might be okay. Now, he did go Oracle into Phoenix. He's built a stalker and 2 adepts. Oh, gosh. Careful, mate. Reaper will heal itself. Oh, dude, if he could have bounced the Stalker to the other side, that would have been pretty beautiful. All those probes are pulled out, though. No battery overcharge just yet. Oracle comes in, denies the SCV on the command center, as well as the one next to it. And he's going to go into that main. Lots of energy available. I like that MARU sends another SCV to keep building that. The Oracle doesn't want to waste any more time. Wants to kill those workers, so it goes in that direction. Hellion's driving into the main base right now. Oh my god, they're stacked, they're stacked, they're stacked. One more shot, one more shot. Ooh, only gets one more on that last shot. Shield battery in the main. Fortunately placed. If there was no shield battery in the main, that would have been a big problem. 2 Cyclones, a Marina Reaper, and a Liberator are denying everything. Looks like, oh my god, the Oracle killed 10 SCVs. It killed 10 and gone out. One fudgety shizballs. 10? MARU, maybe he should have pulled away those SCVs, but I guess he didn't want to lose the mining time when he's only on 1 base. He loses so much, he's at half the worker count. That being said, what the hell are Hero's workers worth? If he can't get this base up, it's not going to help him, is it? Oh, if he can get rid of that Lib, that'll be pretty massive. The Liberator does pull back. The Phoenix need to finish that off, but oh my god, he sacrifices a Phoenix for it. You don't want to lose 2. And there we go, pulling back to the battery overcharge. The probe's going down, trying to mine a few more minerals. This Hero, while he does fight here, this is going to be very, very intense in this scenario. Oracle Phoenix trying to build up. The Stalker's going to skirmish back and forth, but without battery overcharge, Hero has to give up mining on this base, and he's now lost a grand total of 8 probes this game. And the command center's up on the other side of the map. The Oracle says, okay, let's go across for another wave. There's no anti-air at home right now. Oh yes, there is. There's a Cyclone waiting for him. That's a problem for Hero. He's going to fly into that Cyclone, and that Cyclone will deflect him. Oh, no, 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 Hero! Oh my gosh, Hero trying to get out of there. He will barely survive, but Oracle heavily damaged. Gold base is going down. The gas mining is pretty nice. It's going to be 1 base versus 1 base if he can't get rid of this. And to be fair, Hero's still only on 1 gate, 1 Stargate production. There's no way he gets control of this area. He will lose this base. He comes forward to fight. Oh my gosh, almost loses that Stalker. He's got to be real careful about staying in battery healing. More probes are going down. Great micro by MARU, who brings another Liberator forward, and that will completely deny this base. Oh, got the Phoenix flying on the other side. He picks up the 2 Cyclones. The Oracle takes out 3 SCVs. He's going to pick up another Cyclone. Dude, going across the map with the Phoenix, so smart here. Cyclones are really good, but when they're outnumbered by Phoenix, they get outgunned. The Oracle is up to 17 kills. This is going to force Maru's hand. Can Maru catch that? Oh, yes, he can. Gets himself a rallying Phoenix, but he's lost another 10 SCVs. Mules drop. Fresh mules dropping into the Phoenix lifts. Oh, no. That is a disaster. Maru down to 18 workers yet again. Can he take out some of these Phoenix? The answer is no. There's no Twilight Council, there's no Robo. The ground army still kind of sucks for Hero. It's 4 Stalkers, but the 4 Phoenix, if they disable, say, 4 Cyclones, what do you really have left here for Maru? Not a lot. The Oracle on 20 kills has done so much. It has been the MVP. It has been the greatest unit in his arsenal. He's going to go for a crazy fight right here. Picks up a bunch of Cyclones. That means he leaves the Viking and the Lib there. An odd choice, but I guess he says, hey, my Stalkers can deal with all that, and this way you can't retreat. It's a good call. Manages to take out most of the Cyclones. Phoenix could go for a dive on those air units if they want to. He's going to pick up the Cyclone. He goes after the Liberator. Can he take it down? Nice mass repair on the Liberator. The Phoenix do end up falling, and that Liberator should be able to siege up and defend. Maru barely defending his natural. Third base has gone down for Hero to replace the gold base that went down, but with full map control and the ability to rotate over here, it does feel like Hero's got himself a big advantage. Twilight Council's on the way. He's building himself a new Oracle. And for Maru, you've got no add-ons on these barracks. You've got Stim only halfway done, no engineering bay upgrades. If you can't defend this area, you are screwed. Oh, I like that, though. That's really cute. Maybe siege the Lib just a little bit further forward, because right now the Stalkers could come up and one-shot an SCV and pull, you know, move in and move out if they want to. Third Nexus goes up on the gold. Hero's looking miles ahead. I don't see any sort of punishing push timing. Maru's trying to make 2 medevacs right now. So guys, this is, you might be looking at what Maru's doing and saying, well, what's he trying to do here? The answer is he feels so desperate. He's trying to go double medevac for his like 6 Marines and few Cyclones. He's desperately thinking about how he can apply pressure to keep Hero on his toes, but it's actually Hero who's pushing in and trying to kill him, funnily enough. This is the classic Hero dichotomy of this matchup. Hero should just be turtling and defending, but by getting in his opponent's face, he makes it very hard for Maru to read. Maru doesn't know, is he being all in or not? And as his Liberator comes in and sees that third base, he's going to feel very bad about that. Oracle goes in, gets itself 3 SCVs, lost mining time, does pull back. Very nicely done. Liberator rotates in the main base. Hero should have seen this. He's even looking there right now. This is real sloppy to not notice this Lib coming in, but obviously there's been a lot happening in this game. He's got a Viking chasing down his Oracle, distracting him, and there we go. Nice Stalker Warp in. Waits for that to siege before he pulls the probes, immediately goes back to mining. Now, interestingly, he doesn't add the return cargo key there. If you guys do that cycle, it's always good after you tell everything to go back to then press return cargo. It's a small thing, usually saves you about 20 gas, something like that. A little bit of minerals as well. Just saves you a little bit of time. But here we go. Maru's coming in on the north side. He's going to move in and see what can happen. Oh, here we go. Probe's going to go down as well. Oh my gosh. Just give it up, Hero. Don't even try. He's got Dark Shrine on the way. He's got Blink almost done. I mean, you can always battery overcharge to buy yourself a fair bit of time. You know what? I think he can take care of it, but he's got a battery overcharge and take care of the Lib. Once you get rid of the Lib, you can just focus the Cyclones. These Marines aren't going to be that effective because they just don't have as much range. You can see there, yeah, you can actually do pretty well from out of the Lib's range. Lib has to shuffle itself over slightly. Yeah, nice reposition. Did he just kill his own Cyclone? Oh, Maru panic clicking. His Marines just killed his own Cyclone there. That was sloppy. Cyclones doing what they can on the other side of the map. DTs are about to walk in. Guys, there is a missile turret building right now, but it's not ready just yet. Marines stimming forward. Liberator trying to reposition backwards. He needs to keep denying these resources. Let those Marines heal up is definitely the play. But look at that. Stalkers do take out the Lib. Moves in and moves out. Lots of Stalkers do go down, though. DTs in the main base, they are clumped up. That is very sloppy for Hero. Very sloppy for Hero to both have hit the same base. That's all right, as long as he uses... Oh, he should have used shift-hold position. Hero. This is something I've noticed with Hero. I don't actually know if he knows shift hold position is even something you can do. I should probably ask him about that. In those scenarios, you always want to click outside and go shift H, shift hold position, or whatever your hotkey is. If you're on grid, maybe it'd be a different hotkey for that hold position. And the units will actually execute a hold position command once they reach the initial target, but slight mistake, both DTs going down to a single scan. Could have done a lot more damage. Hero making his life a little bit more difficult here. I really felt that the DTs with a Hail Mary play. That being said, Charge is on the way. He's got a Forge and a Robo. He does have 3 bases mining, but so does Maru now. And Maru's up in supply. Man, I thought Hero had this game I really thought having MARU contained for so long should have put him in an absolutely astounding lead, but MARU has just kept up the weird pressure, denied this gold base over and over, and he catches a bunch of Stalkers, scans the DT, the probes aren't running. Oh my lord, that is a lot of damage. 6 probes go down as well. I cannot believe MARU has actually managed to do this. I really thought that the Oracle's killing, was it 20, 25 SCVs or something like that in the early game would be enough to destroy him. Oh, that's crazy. Here we go, guys. Marine Marauder tank medevac moving south right now. Zealots coming out. Stalkers moving down as well. The bio coming forwards. Zealot sentry moving in. Hello, mate. Stalkers taking out the Viking, pulling back. Battery overcharge coming down. There's not enough Zealots to overwhelm that bio ball. As long as the bio ball doesn't fight in battery healing range, this looks like a bad position for Hero. Nice pick up on the tank. He's going to go for it. Zealots going forward, but they are trickling in just 1 or 2 at a time. The Sentry Guardian Shield helps out a little bit. The fake Colossus come up, but man, that is just way too much bio for MARU. And MARU navigates the chaos of Dynasty. This is a good map for Protoss compared to some of the others. I almost guarantee you that Hero picked this map. MARU is going to be ecstatic to be winning on Hero's map choice at the start of this series. All right. Hero did lose that game, so that scoreboard's wrong. Let's flip that one around. I thought he had a good start, but clutching victory from the jaws defeat and clutching defeat from the jaws of victory are 2 things that Hero is good at. Hero is one of the best comeback players of all time. But, yeah, so, okay, you can wall this off. Okay, guys, just yesterday, sorry, I was playing Protoss yesterday, and I kept screwing this wall off up. So I've got to remember, you just put that gateway all the way up there, and then the Cybercore could wall it off. Because I knew there was a way you could wall it off with the pylon being protected in the back, and then you can hide your tech back here, and even if a Reaper jumps up, they can't see it. But I couldn't quite remember the placement. I kept screwing this wall off up and letting Reapers, like, jump in. Hero is going to be going for a pylon on the natural there. No scout 2 games in a row is kind of greedy. But I think the Terrans are so often not SCV scouting. They're also not proxying that much. And to be fair, if you skip scout, your Cybercore finishes earlier, which makes you safer against proxy barracks anyway. So unless your opponents are going 2 ranks proxy Marauder, like Cure, I actually think this is really smart. I think it's too many players. Like, for instance, I see MaxPax. Whilst he is better than Hero at standard play, he probe scouts every single game. He always goes core before Nexus. The lack of cutting corners and having like that little edge or that little head start, the little mini gambles that Hero plays give him such an advantage. Now, on the other hand, if you're constantly creating different early game situations where you randomly get these different leads, it leads to worse practice for you, you could argue. And that's why Hero's a bit sloppier on his basics than MaxPax, right? Because he's in a slightly different situation every game due to that early game variability. Stargate's on the way. Still no starport from MARU. We playing 3cc, buddy. We're about to go 3 command center, guys. This is a 3cc opening for MARU. Wow. I need an Owen Wilson soundboard. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes, just once in a while, I feel like I just need Owen Wilson and his lovely voice. Do you think he meant for that to become his catchphrase, or he just said it in such a weird way and then it just stuck and people wouldn't shut up about it? Now he's the WoW guy. Oh, yes! Oh my god, Hero traps him! MARU stayed there a bit too long, and the Stalker says, no leaving here, buddy. Twilight. What is this build? Guys, he just went Phoenix into Twilight 3-gate. What the fudge? What is this? Because MARU hasn't even seen the Phoenix. But he's always going to show it to him. Oh my god, this is so ridiculous. Guys, this is the silliest play ever. I love it. It's kind of genius. Like most of Hero's plays, it's very creative. It's super genius. So he shows him the Phoenix, gets a full scout, sees the 3rd command center, and he's already into Blink behind it. And this is so unexpected because Phoenix always goes into Phoenix, Colossus, or Charge. Now, don't get me wrong. He should have hit that Phoenix in the back corner and recalled it or waited for its shields to regenerate. But this is an insane build order. And now, seeing the 3rd command center, he immediately drops the 3rd. So look at this from MARU's point of view. MARU's here just like, okie doke, well, just got to build some anti-air and then build up into a big bioforce, and we could play 3 base first, 3 base burst. Probably Phoenix Colossus. And he's thinking, well, I just need to make sure it's not like Phoenix into mass charge. That's the one thing I need to worry about. The last thing you're expecting here is an opponent playing Blink, I imagine, into just Robo or Storm. Like, I imagine Hero's just gonna play like splash damage next and just play like a really standard ground game. And he's like, well, I just the Blink's really late, I built a Stargate, I built a single Phoenix, and now I'm just playing a standard Blink game. This is so weird. It's such a specifically unique to I'm hero and I'm a weirdo and I play StarCraft my own way. He doesn't even have a way to spot the high ground, so he literally can't blink into that main base even if he wants to. And he's already building a pylon on the front. Are we planning a bust? If so, we're going to need to see... Oh, I was about to say 4 more gateways here, 1 gate on the front. Yeah, oh god, he's going to do a 2 gas bust. Notice no gases there. He's stopped on 50 probes, so he's instantly like mostly saturated his third. And he's just going to go, yeah, up to like 7, 8, maybe 9 or 10 gateways. And he's just going to go for Mass Stalker Zealot. And the whole timing here is when this third command center floats out. Because notice, Maru's already saturated 2 bases, so he's going to move out in about a minute. And whilst he's going to have stim and shields, he's just not going to have much bio. He might have like 2 medevacs at most. And you're just going to swarm in with Mass Stalker Zealot. Now, don't get me wrong, Maru should be worried about Phoenix Zealot, even though Hero hasn't played that in years. Nightmare's the only player who really plays that right now outside of what, Nightmare, Showtime, Estrella, and occasionally Showtime. Oh, nice blink forward for a siege tank. Well worth trading a Stalker for a siege tank and a few SCVs. Oh my lord, the Stalker's bouncing in and out right now. Cyclones, Marines hanging out, doing what they can. Ooh. Yeah, if he kept the Phoenix alive, he could go rotate and blink in the main as well. And having got rid of the tank, that would be huge. However, because there's so much Marine Marauder with Stim almost finished, blinking in that main would be very risky. And I like the way he's made so many Stalkers. But this is so weird now, right, for Maru. You're not expecting necessarily Mass Zealot behind this. Probably a Colossus transition. But look, the Zealots are already warping in. He's going to add a few probes. He will add a gas, a couple more gateways. A forge goes down. So it's going to be 8 gateways, single forge. I don't really think building probes helps you right now as hero. I think building like 3 or 4 just to put on the gas is fine, to get a little bit of extra gas. But if you want to play an economy game, you need to do more stuff. Is he going to bust the natural? That's crazy. I thought you'd absolutely wait for him to move out, but he's just going to go for an all-in up the ramp because there's no wall off. Maru getting called out, unable to even raise the depots. The Stalkers blink forward. Oh my gosh, the Sentry not really helping out right now, but it doesn't matter. That's so much Zealot Stalker. The tank getting focused on the middle of those Stalkers, getting some big splashies off, but the Zealots are just ripping him to shreds. That medevac on the left side goes down. Absolutely ridiculous build order for Hero. And the 3 command center builds for Maru, like for most Terrans, they look so weak against Hero. I don't think Maru's going to play 3 command center for the rest of this series, because it didn't work for him in GSL Season 1 in the group stages, it didn't work well in the GSL finals, and it's not working well here. Hero, if you give him this much room, he always seems to have a clever answer to 3 command center openings, because you're just a bit too passive, and you're not punishing his weird openings. Those Marauders and Marines, nice pickup, drop back there, but Maru's dead. He's just way too outnumbered. Hero with a very clever build, a very kind of oddball mind game, where he's like, I want to play Blink, but first I want a full scout, and I want you to think I'm playing Stargate, and to force you to build Cyclones, and that's exactly what he got. Remember, multiples... I mean, to be fair, Maru didn't even know. Yeah, actually, let's check that really quickly. Maru didn't even know that it was Stargate. And he already committed to 2 Cyclones just because that was the build order. So you know what's funny? Is Maru committed to 2 Cyclones. So Maru's build order was just bad against Stargate. So this is like the wet dream of build order lineups for Hero. He's like, well, yeah, you're already building a few Cyclones which suck against the Blink follow-up. Nice play. Only mistake was losing the Phoenix, but otherwise very clever attack from Hero. I love it. All right, going into post-youth, this should be a good map for Maru. The Terrans love this map, that drop path on that right side of the main. Very powerful. He's going to go double gas once again. No scout. Dude, is this a mistake for Maru playing no scout every game? Because remember, on Amphion, Hero managed to punish, I think it was Clem, with a really nice proxy all-in. Because he was never SCV scouting. I guess Maru, to be fair, Clem screwed up in that game, didn't he? He didn't build he tried to defend his natural when he could have just cancelled the command center, gone to the high ground and been fine, actually. Yeah. Now, we do have a lot of workers on gas. This looks like a Stargate build again, but we go Stalker Warp Gate straight away. And it looks like with that quick base up, is Hero just not scouting the whole series? Well, Hero's playing very greedy, but seems to be the right thing to do against the way his opponent is playing. Reactor on the way. Factory's there. First Reaper's going to come in. Twilight Council it is. Okay, guys, we've got a Stalker out, Adept coming in behind it. Reaper's going to see the Twilight Council immediately. He even goes in there to make sure he could click on it, and he's like, oh yeah, that's a Twilight Council. Now, of course, I don't really like the wall off for Hero, guys. I really feel the gateway should be on the left side, maybe. The reason is because his units have to go all the way around to defend this right side and then to get down there. Whereas I feel like having the opening on the right is better. Because you see he's kind of torn between where he should stand to defend. And that for me is a little bit awkward. Slight mistake for him, in my opinion. But I do like the wall off because it means he can wall off Hellions, wall off units running in. Now this is going to be a what I call the skill test build, guys. So Maru's skill tester build, it's where he goes for mass Widowmine drop and potentially even goes for like a second and a third medevac and just keeps on pumping Widowmines. Now he doesn't have the armory because of course armory doesn't make mines invisible anymore, but it's still just going to be like, hey, I'm dropping 4 mines. This is not a 2 mine drop, not a 3 mine drop. It's 4 Widow mines. You just have to deal with a lot of Widow mines. It forces the Protoss to juggle it. A top Protoss player should never really take crazy damage from this, right? As long as they're watching, they should pull their probes away, split them up. But it really allows Maru to exert his fantastic Widow mine micro, his retargeting, all that annoying stuff that he's so good at doing against a Protoss and give him many opportunities to get the big boom booms. Second gate goes down. Robo, 3rd and 4th gas. Oh wait, that's a 3rd gate as well. So 3 gate blink into 2 base Colossus by the looks of it. Could be Storm as well. Both good styles. Stalker moves out. There's 3 more Stalkers behind this. Wait, didn't he build an Adept, guys? I guess he canceled the Adept and decided more Stalkers was the way to go. And, well, good on him. Hero with perfect game sense for when this would be coming in. Dude, the way he moved to that right side. He tries to focus them down, though. That's a little bit greedy. Oh, my gosh. Okay, but it works out. It works out. Gets rid of one of the Widow Mines. That one's going to burrow itself into the ground. Oh, nice micro. You see with the burrow, unburrow. And oh my god, Widowmine just walked in the front and blew up a Stalker. He just blew up a Stalker on that side. The probes. Oh no, Hero. Oh god. Oh, nice retargeting. Nice retargeting from Maru. And there we go. Gets himself yet another probe. That's going to be a total of 2 probes going down and a Stalker for 3 Widow Mines. That was pretty good defense, but you lose a lot of mining time. So guys, I was actually doing some shower calculations. I realized lost mining time I've never really calculated. Think of it this way. Every time 10 seconds that a full base is not mining, about 135 minerals. Maybe 140. Medevac does go down. So you see here, he's going to lose like maybe 15 seconds of mining. That's like losing 150, maybe 180 minerals there. Could even be close to 200, especially with all the gas mining. You lose quite a bit, but the Stalkers are now counterattacking. He's going to take out those Marines as well. Ooh, Tank's getting some shots off. Here we go, moving over to that right side. Stalker's trying to rotate behind the mineral line. He's getting some good damage, but I don't know if there's any way out for these Stalkers. That's the problem. That tank's waiting for him. Oh, big shots, big shots. Oh, can he get out before the next tank shot? Oh my god, it got another tank shot. I did not think that last tank shot would land. That Stalker will leave. I guess it's 3 Stalkers went down, plus the one that died to the Widow Mine. He gets 2 SCVs. He forces an auto turret. Probably not worth it there for Hero. I think Hero was in a pretty good spot, but a little slow to rebuild the 3rd base and to get this next step going. Also, he's mining 4 gas, but he hasn't started a Colossus. There we go. Finally does go down. Maru on the other side. Let's look at his setup. After this early game Widowmine drop harassment, he's lost all those units. He's got a Raven, so he can try to hunt down the Observers, but I think the Stalker's doing a good job of protecting it. He's got the 2 tanks covering everything, 3 barracks are up, and a quick 3rd command center. So he's going to play a little bit more defensive as Maru, realizing, you know what, Stim and Shields are a while away. I don't really have the medevacs up yet. Let's just go for that 3rd base, and willing to play a bit more of a macro game than he normally is, which is interesting because, like I said in that last game, I feel like 3 command center builds in general don't do that well up against Mr. Hero. I feel like Mr. Hero, I don't know why I'm calling him Mr. Hero, but I like it. I'm going to stick with it. He's just so good if you give him room. And in general, PvT, Terran vs. Protoss is all about the Terran surprising the Protoss, keeping them worried, being on the edge of committing to an attack the whole time so the Protoss doesn't know whether they can commit to army, upgrades, tech. They don't know where to commit to. You know, things get awkward, they get tight, they get uncomfortable. 4 Stalkers here, see the move out. It's not a super committed push. This is a fake push, guys. I knew this because of the fast 3rd command center. Unfortunately for Hero, he doesn't know about the 3rd, but his Observer sees SCVs, and that's a tell. That's a tell that Maru is already about to float a 3rd command center down. So I think Hero is actually in an okay spot, but he misses the double drop moving around that right side, and that's going to get straight in the middle. I've told you guys, there's a reason a lot of Protoss players completely skip on taking this in-base expansion. It's just so open to drops. Stalkers are going to blink in there, though. Oh, this could be a mistake for Maru. The Colossus is nearby. The Stalkers are there quickly. The Raven. Oh, the Raven's going to survive. You're kidding me. Finally, he finishes it off. A lot of Stalkers going down. The Colossus, though, roasting this. Getting rid of the medevacs. Even though the Raven survived for a few seconds, I actually think, I was like, oh, why isn't he finishing the Raven? Dude, he stopped the Medivacs from getting out. What's he lose? 6 probes? Look at that unit's lost time. It was close to even before that fight. Now 1,000 resources in favor of Hero. Oh, Hero is now miles ahead. And remember, there was already no real sharp timing attack window there for MARU. But the fact that he committed in like that was very risky. I don't know if the probe saw it, but Hero's instincts to quickly blink on the high ground and deal with that, very well done. That being said, good defensive setup for MARU. Can he maybe do this? I think his tanks need to focus the Colossus Stalker, and he needs to try and get his bio out front so that they can bait the Zealot charge. Oh, huge snipe. Absolutely huge. That's the biggest snipe. Probably the largest snipe I've ever seen. Massive snipe. Huge snipe. Make Protoss great again. Depot goes down. Engineering Bay, 3 SCVs. I mean, I think he lost like an Observer and a Stalker. They're perfect for a Hero who's got a 4th Nexus on the gold. Disruptors building. 5 more gateways on the way as well. His +1 attack's about to finish. He's got a 2nd Forge coming in. I like the way he's just poking on the edge. He's got MARU so well contained. Only thing I'd criticize for Hero, which, look at this, he's building proxy gates everywhere. What a Chad. Is he should have some pylons on this right side. Something to make sure that like a drop doesn't sneak in. But I think he's got recall available. Yeah, even though he doesn't have energy in the main or the natural, he does have recall available. Just got to transfer these workers from this base out to the gold. Something where Hero is one of the more inconsistent players when it comes to transfer timings. Obviously, inconsistent is Hero's middle name. He's also adaptive. He's also incredible at kind of figuring out how to adjust on the fly. There we go. Not too late. That was actually pretty good. Immediately goes to the gold. Doesn't have a 5th base started just yet, but man, his army is swarming. Power is growing. Where's the engineering bay? He's rebuilt it, but he hasn't got +1 armor yet. MARU is just trying to survive, build ghosts, build marines, build tanks. Is he just going to go all in? The fact that he's building nothing but libs, tanks, marines, and ghosts, I think MARU might be thinking of doing an all in. The thing is, he's playing Hero, and Hero is only on 64 probes, so Hero is probably going to attack into him first. This is actually really good for MARU, as MARU goes for drilling claws and a 2nd factory and a 4th command center. Never mind. MARU's going to start +2 weapons. He's going to play a longer game, but oh god, command center immediately cancelled. Ghost having to use its EMP preemptively. Losing a Ghost as well. A Viking or 2 could go down. A couple Stalkers will pay the price for those 3 Vikings. A lot of Stalkers go down. Hero with a little bit of sloppy micro. It's a total of 12 Stalkers that have gone down. But I think overall, when you've got the gold base mining and a 5th on the way, your opponent's pinned on very few bases, especially these bases that mine out so quickly, right? Because you've only got 6 mineral patches. There's not as many minerals on this base. Getting stuck on 3 base on post-youth is much worse than getting stuck on 3 base on some of those more standard layouts. Oh my god, the Stalkers are going to take massive Widow Mine hits. Oh man, I'm not sure about that push. He lands a few decent Disruptor hits, gets a tank, gets a bunch of bio, but it feels like the Stalkers dying is the worst part of these trades for Hero. But if he can keep using this positioning, this is going to keep forcing MARU to stim around. And that being said, it's too many Stalkers. I think Hero's bleeding out too many units. On the other hand, with a 5th base up, MARU is still behind. But 4th Command Center is rebuilding. Drilling clauses on the way, which means those will remain invisible after firing once that drilling clause finishes in a few seconds. We've got gateway here and here. Dude, this gateway spread is huge. That's what we call the 4-ball assault, guys. Oh, we're going to defend the disruptors, though. He does lose 1 disruptor. Force fields cover his retreat. Manages to get a missile turret and a tank there for a disruptor. Not a bad trade. Whenever you're in an advantaged position like this, having disruptors to chip away at your opponent is one of the big ways you can, you know, really just whittle them down. And there's part of me that says, hey, build more probes. But you know what? There's part of me that says you don't need to build more probes. Why would you build more probes here, guys? I just don't see if you need to build more probes, because you've got such a big army advantage. Let's just keep that army advantage up. And this way, as long as you keep chipping away, MARU has to move down to take a 4th. And if you spread Zealots on that side, this side, come in from multiple sides, you can surround these tanks. Look at this. MARU's aware of it. Oh, but his tanks are on siege. Hero's going to go for it right here, right now. Oh my gosh, the tanks are mostly on siege. The Zealots are going to swarm on top. The Disruptors fly forward and take out 2 of those tanks. And he doesn't care about losing Zealots. It's Stalkers, Colossus, Disruptors going down. That costs him. And that is not really happening too much. +3 attack, +2 armor, both almost finished. MARU's floating his 4th command center out, but he's only on +2 attack. No armor upgrades, which means his Marines and Marauders are getting shredded. Double upgraded advantage for the Protoss. Widowmine tries to move out for map control. Widowmines on their own, though, are easy to just spread a few Zealots against or anything like that. Stalkers on that right side. Oh my god, Hero! Showing a nice Patience blink there. For those who don't know, Patience is a player who was known for being the most impatient Protoss player. He'd basically just blink his Stalkers into Siege Tanks, Widow Mines, and Marauders every single game, and sometimes it would work. A lot of the times it wouldn't, but it was always fun to watch because it just felt like a guy who would grab the other guy's knife and just stab it into his guts, or I don't know, into like his ribs, and be like, haha, your knife stuck in my ribs. And that's like his whole strategy, was like winning by self-impaling. But nice bio movement here. I feel like Maru's EMPs are pretty good as well. It's just, if you like regen your shields, I feel like you regen shields faster than those EMPs regen. The stims also are really taxing Maru. He's only got 4 medevacs. Those tanks are barely out of range. Okay, disruptors are taking the damage. I think he could have thrown those disruptors a little earlier. Oh, that costs Maru a bunch of Marauder Ghosts. That was sloppy. He should have picked those units up. Hero's all over him, but if Hero doesn't trade soon, he's going to get worn down. Like, Maru's getting to max. And he's obviously being, I was going to say more efficient. He's still not more efficient. He's still down in the efficiency. Wow. Hero's going to shove in right now. Only 1 tank on that right side. Oh, it's a bad angle, though. Pull back, Hero. Yeah, just maybe focus the command center, but I don't think he has enough Stalkers. I think just backing away is the right way to do this. He's going to double Disruptor another tank. It takes 2 Disruptors to take out a Siege Tank. Very hard to outrange Siege Tanks anymore since they got enough. He gets a Ghost with that shot. Kills a bunch of depots. I think he got a factory there as well. There are 3 factories up in this game. Maru's playing Mega Turtle Mine Tank Bio. This is a revolutionary style, but he's just doing it from so far behind. I feel like we would have learned something really cool about Maru's new style of TvP this game. But unfortunately, Hero is just all over him and doing such a fantastic job of shutting down that double drop in the back and then threatening with his own Stalkers. Hero gets a 2-1 lead. All right. Hero is down here in the bottom left side of the map, 1 game away from sealing the deal. But it's on the map that he has nightmares of playing against Maru. Now, he's gone for the very early probe that's blocked the barracks from going down. So the barracks is already delayed and built in a suboptimal position. And he's going to use these shields as that renewable resource. Is it 7, 9 seconds out of combat, whatever it is, before you start regenning? Gets back to 20 shields, and then he'll go back to fighting. And notice Maru has to keep subbing fresh SCVs in, so this is the joys of having a probe in your base, as your SCVs are kind of like, got to keep subbing in a fresh boy to fight against it, and you end up with a whole bunch of damaged SCVs. But of course, Hero lost a lot of mining time to get over here this early. Slows down his gateway, his gas, his cybercore, his nexus. All of this stuff gets slowed down. Apparently, Uncapped Games is airing right now. Ooh, okay, guys. Don't worry, I'll rewatch it right after this. For those who are watching on YouTube, I'm gonna rewatch it because I'm gonna be rewinding the whole thing anyway, and checking it out. But thanks for the heads up, as I want to be rewinding it all. Probe's going to be going in and out. Marine does start building. Nexus goes down here after Cybercore. Pylon to block the very quick Reaper path. Now that's interesting. Maru goes Marine first. Marine first. Command center on the high ground, and we should see a factory building. Where's that factory, bro? Here we go. Factory goes down at 1:59. Probe does get pushed back by the Marine. Probe's still hanging out. I don't know why. What are we hoping to see here? Why? You already saw a command center on the high ground. Maybe he's trying to sneak in to build a pylon down there or something. This isn't... Oh, he wants to see if it's a reactor, I think. This is such an odd choice because I feel like you've seen everything you need to see, and yet he gets in there, sees the reactor, and gets a confirmation of what's going on. That's cute. Yeah, why not? All right. Adept comes out, Stargate behind it. Will it be an Oracle or will it be a Phoenix is the question. And where will we go from here? We haven't seen a Phoenix Colossus play yet. That being said, it's going to be really, really hard to see the difference between those two. Like, what are you going to do to deal with those big tank pushes that Maru is famous for? What are you going to do to deal with those missile turrets building outside your base? It's felt to me so far in this series, Hero does not want to play that style. Oracle or Phoenix? Moment of truth, it's an Oracle. Interesting. Does give you a bit more flexibility. Usually it's Oracle into Blink, so it goes into a more standard ground play. We'll see what the heck happens. Ooh, okay. Adept's coming forward. Marine's struggling. Taking a little bit of damage, but Cyclone comes out. Adept needs to leave. Hero, we stayed a bit too long, my friend. Oh, he's going to barely get out, I think. I think he just barely survives. Oh, maybe not. Does go down. Nice catch there by Maru. Now, Maru's gone second barracks. This looks like a big push for him. Doesn't have to be. We'll keep our eyes on this investment. Notice he's prioritizing SCVs over Marines there for a second. This mule isn't dropping yet, which is super bizarre that he didn't drop that mule the moment the command center finished. Oliveira did say after this tournament he felt like MARU's macro actually has some slight mistakes in it this tournament, and that like it wasn't. He kind of said like, hey, I think my TVZ macro is much tighter than his right now. And I think if you look at kind of the way they both played their TVZ matchups in this tournament, I kind of agree with him. But I don't know, does that carry over to TvP? But it's just an odd choice there to not drop that mule. Small mistakes happen with everyone. This one also hasn't dropped a mule, even though he's been at 60 energy for a while. Starport goes down, though, into Engineering Bay. This is like a Gumiho build order. A lot of Terrans, like Oliveira, would go 3 racks here, you know, do the big push. But going for the Starport and Engineering Bay, you're going to have like a decent number of Marines off like a 2-1-1. And 2-1-1 sneaking down the left side of the map's not a bad move, man. Ooh, Cyclone's not in the main. So many damaged SCVs, but oh, he only gets 2. Oh, the Cyclone's nowhere near here, man. He could have got more than that. Hero's micro lacking there. 3 SCVs ain't bad, but it ain't great either. Where's that Cyclone? Cyclone looks like it went down to the natural, expecting a rotation. Still 4 SCVs in Mining Time. It's still a great first wave. Just definitely feel like all those orange boys and red boys should have been focused down, but Hero there, I think he was a little wary of a Widow Mine waiting for him in that mineral line, and oh gosh, takes a lot of damage. Nice move from MARU on the Cyclone. Behind this, we've got a Void Ray and Immortal. What? I guess because he saw the reacted Starport, he's panicking. He's so afraid of the double Marine drop. I think you'd be crazy to still go for a double Marine drop though, after taking that SCV damage. And indeed, MARU flies across with a drop and immediately flies back. Void Rays and Immortals aren't the best units though for this next stage of the game. And Hero's so afraid he's keeping himself off of a 3rd base. So he's going to be 2 base versus 2 base for a while. Oh my gosh, Oracle gets another 4 SCVs. Dude, and the Marines all stim. There's not that much medevac energy. This feels really good for Hero now. MARU chilling on 2 base, taking a ton of damage. To me, this feels like Hero is in an amazing spot despite building a couple of Void Rays and Immortals that are garbage units. They'll be good at focusing down tanks and medevacs, but if they're just shooting Marines, they're kind of crap. They're incredibly expensive paperweights in that regard. But good anti-armored units. The Colossus will make up for that weakness. The one thing Hero is really missing right now is Twilight. Yeah, because he was so afraid, his Twilight's like a minute delayed. And that means there could be a giant push from MARU, and that could hit him well before he's ready. MARU, we're going to unload. Oh, that's a dead Cyclone. Cyclone comes in, does go down. So there's a big push. He's not going to have charge in time, which means can we get a second Colossus out? MARU's not quite all in, but he's incredibly committed, guys. 33 SCVs, 2 tanks. He's going to hit just after the 7-minute mark. Hero has a battery. He has a bunch of units. Oh, he just used all of his energy. He might barely have a Guardian Shield ready. No second Colossus building. Oh no, he's supply blocked. He chrono boosted into a supply block. I was wondering if he'd get a second Colossus out in time. Well, he's definitely not going to now. Charge has just started as well. Oh, he moves out there, though. The Colossus could get pretty big damage done on those Marines. I think Hero sieged him up far enough away. He could buy himself enough time. Hero needs more pylons and nothing but chrono boosting charge and zealots right now. As long as he slows down the tanks from getting in range. I mean, Hero just wants to skirmish. He doesn't really want to fight. And I think he's doing a good job of it. Probe goes down on the right side. MARU starts his 3rd command center on location. He's got Vikings building. He's still only on 3 barracks. No armor upgrade started. He's pulling back. I like that Hero goes forward for the engage here. But MARU is going to pull back. You can't chase that. Hero, get out of there. Hero, get out of there. Good pullback timing by Hero. Second Colossus coming out. Templar Archives and Charge is going to finish. He's going up into the big gateway count as well. Hero's on 54 probes. He's actually in a good spot. I think he could probe this 3rd up and take a 4th and be miles ahead in this game. But Hero was playing this game so afraid. And I really think that the specter of the last time he played this map against MARU is rearing its ugly head. Remember how he just got jumped on in this area? MARU just blitzed over him in Star Wars. Against he walked through storms, walked through disruptor shots, no F's given. And I think Hero's like a little bit traumatized after what happened there. So Marine, Marauder, Tank, Viking hanging out. Templar Archives, 4 more gateways on the way. Charge, +1 armor as well. 8 gateways. Ooh, this is going to be exciting. Okie doke. Tanks, Marines, Vikings moving down that right side. Hero's still not building workers, which means he's got to just go for a big battle. So Hero just has to pick a good fight now. Problem is, he doesn't have a lot of warp-ins yet. I think wait for 1 more full Zealot warp-in, +1 armor, and then go for a big fight. He could do this. Notice the Colossus trying to bait stims out, but MARU's being very patient. And, ooh, one of the Colossus did already take a fair bit of damage. I think Zealots should probably be cutting off the Reinforce right now. Hero, he's got to be careful not to attack into this corner. He needs to move down here before attacking. Hero, oh gosh, this is shades of Golden Aura when they played at Star Wars. He's setting up his army to attack into a cliff. Hero, what are you doing? This is a terrible angle. Why would you attack from this angle on the corner? Oh, no. Maru with a beautiful setup. Marines in the back, Marauders in the front line, tanks shelling from behind the ridge. And Hero... this is the second time in a couple of weeks he's moved a maxed out army into a cliff. An unfortunate mistake for him. And it's a big one that he's been repeating a lot. I don't know if he would have won that fight anyway. With just how decisive that was, don't get me wrong. It looked like Maru had the numbers there. Hero played a bit too scared earlier on, but there's a really simple thing I want to break down for you here, guys, which is in this sort of scenario when you're fighting, the last thing you want to do is have your army get stuck on this terrain. This is unmovable territory where I'm boxing. So you want your army to be down here so that they're moving through this big wide open area and not all getting gumped up on these corners where the tanks, the Marines, the Marauders are all doing damage and all your stuff's just stuck behind each other, both clumping up for splash damage and not getting on top of the opponents. He should have been flanking Zealots from the top side for sure. I mean, to not be cutting off an all-in rally like this is crazy. He should have sent his Zealots to cut it off, bought himself a bit more time, and then moved his army like south and just waited for a few more Archons while his Zealots split the army up. You really, against the Terran push like this, you don't want to fight on their terms, but the way Hero fought this was very sloppy. The fact that he, in fact, moved north, as well as moving back and forth in tank fire so much. So he's lost most of his healing off the batteries, he's lost his immortal barriers, and then he even spreads his units to the north. Guys, normally spreading your units into an open space works. Spreading them into blocking terrain, look at what the units do here. They're all clumping up like crazy and getting stuck behind each other in this area. And the whole time they're getting shelled. And his army just trickles into the bio. Very bad fight for Hero. And he does get wiped out. GG, well played. Really nice play there for Maru. All right. The whole series comes down to this one. Hero in the top right side of the map. I think, honestly, the main problem for him is his Oracle did good damage. And he probably didn't need to build the Void Ray. I don't mind the double Immortal, the warping in lots of units. But I think the Void Ray was a big over expenditure in that last game and just slowed his third down and probing that up a little bit too long, delayed his charge a bit too long. And I don't know if he wins that game without fighting against the cliff, but fighting against the cliff, definitely not what it was all about. Now, Maru's going to go for an expansion. What I really want to see from Maru is some more aggressive play, but I just don't know if Alcyon's the map for it. I feel like he's been giving too much room and respect to Hero, and we see what Hero does when he gets up to 3 base without being paranoid. That last game, he was paranoid. Ends up dying to that delayed 2-base push because he just never got the economy up. And he's going to go for a second. Wait. Why aren't we probing right now? Oh, it's 19 Nexus into core, no scout. Ah, good build. So if you guys want to go Nexus before core, you cut one probe. It allows you to get the Nexus faster, but it also allows you to build the Cyber Core at almost the same time as a normal core first after a probe scout. So it minimizes the risk of you taking damage to an early Reaper. So this is actually, I love these little opening adjustments from Hero. Really well done. And we are going to be going into a pylon on the natural factory on the high ground after that command center. So this was a gas first opening. Oh, hello. Sorry, guys. Should have realized that already. The Reaper going to be a few seconds delayed, so it has no chance of getting damage. And what's surprising is Hero, 5 games into this series, I don't think he probe scouted. No, that previous game he scouted, right? Pretty much every other game he didn't scout though, and he hasn't been punished at all. So Maru may be slipping up on the strategy. Usually Maru's very good at catching out players who are very greedy, but maybe not just having the confidence to figure out where that happens. Reaper's going to move in forward. Adepts and Stalkers coming on out. Okay, Reaper's going to try to jump up to the ledge. Let's go. Doesn't see anything. Adepts going to be popping out soon. And that's a Stargate on the natural. Hero. Tricky building placement. I like it. Pretty easy to scout if the Reaper chooses to run in there. It's just rare for the Reaper to choose to run in there. So decent chance he doesn't find out about it. Widow Mine's on the way. Starport as well. Double gas is mining. Now Maru going for a 1-Rax expand. I think it's a pretty decent build. Jumps in, but that pylon is blocking that. It doesn't look like it's blocking, but I'm pretty sure that does actually stop the Reaper from moving through. I think this will be a Phoenix, but I just can't imagine we play Oracle yet again. I feel like Maru's going to be so ready for it. So the Oracles have caused him big problems in this series. Reaper's going to try to run in, and the Adept and the Stalker are almost going to be able to kill that, but not quite. Unless, actually, he's in front of that Reaper. That Reaper's trapped. Goes down. And most importantly, doesn't get a scout. It is Phoenix being chrono boosted here. No scout of the Stargate for MARU. Hero looking like he's in a very nice position in terms of that surprise of the Phoenix. But the problem is he's sending the Phoenix across the map. That's bad for him. Because that's going to reveal his Phoenix to the Marines. And seeing that, the medevac should probably be much more careful. Whereas if he didn't know about the Phoenix, then he... Oh, God, he's going to fly into it anyway. Never mind. Never mind. Perfect rally path there for Hero. He's going to get quite a few shots on that medevac to start out, already damaging it a fair little bit. Now, of course, the medevac does have a single armor, which is why it is taking those small amounts of damage. It's also armored rather than light. Doesn't take much damage from the Phoenix. 2 times 4. Third base is about to go down. Robo's already coming, so Robo's straight into third base. I think Hero realizing he stopped the Widowmine drop, he kind of knows that he can get some stuff done here. Adept's a bit... Yeah, he waited too long. Bad timing on that from Hero. He was trying to, of course, get the shot to fire and then shade out at the same second to cancel it. He's going to try and do it again here. And I like that Maru's watching, though. So there's no way this works when the Terran's watching, because he can just unburrow, or he could even change targets. Doing it with 2 Adepts is also not the best way to do it, because it always gives them a second target to change targets to, without having to unburrow the Widowmine. Phoenix going to go in for some pickups behind. Wow, 3 SCVs ain't half bad, mate. That's a pretty good start. Adepts and Stalkers trying to pull away, though. Looks like he kills a Marine. The Adepts and the Stalkers pull out. Shield battery in reserve in the back. Immortal only now being chronoed. Oh my gosh, he doesn't have an Immortal yet. Oh, is he being too greedy, guys? Cyclones and Vikings rallying across this map. We've got 3 Widowmines in that medevac. The Cyclone, Viking, Marine push, incredibly committed. Shield battery out front, and those 3 Stalkers putting up a good fight, though. Good pickup on the Cyclone. Picks up those Widowmines, but oh, one of the Widowmines fires. And I think the Observer did go down in the midst of that as well, but a Widowmine falls. This one is going to get taken out. Great focus fire for Hero. He's out of healing, though. He's out of healing juice. Okay, gets back the reserve battery. The reserve battery! And that can get overcharged. Oh my god, massive overcharge in the back. Big overextension for MARU. And MARU's attack gets crushed. The third base finishes. That is devastating. He's trying to build a third command center on location. That might not even be able to finish. Honestly, Hero might be able to chase him all the way to his side of the map. That Phoenix does not want to die, but Hero doesn't want to let the medevac get away either. Nice pullback for Hero, but that medevac getting ferried back to safety. That Phoenix looking incredibly exposed right now. If you pick that up with the medevac, you're not going to be able to get it home. The Viking does go down. The medevac, there we go. Oh my gosh, how is it still alive? The medevac just refusing to die. And MARU manages to stabilize. Hero does end up chilling out here, and not a bad call, guys. I really feel like Hero often just F2A moves across the map after winning a fight like that and throws away all of his Phoenix and his advantage. But oh my god, is Stats whispering in his ear? Does this man have an earpiece? Going for an immediate fourth. This is... Only Australia or Stats could I imagine doing this. This is such a... It's exactly the correct move, but it's the sort of correct move I would never expect Hero to make. And I know that sounds a little disrespectful, but it's just Hero's nature is get ahead, do damage. This is like, I'm ahead, let's get further ahead. This is very safe play. And I love it. I think it's a fantastic way to build on your advantage. He can go charge and +1. He's still building Phoenix. He can go for a big ground transition, just mass gateway. Honestly, a Colossus Zealot Archon timing off maybe 75 probes, even 72 probes, because he can obviously just transfer workers from the main to this fourth to make use of it. I don't think that's stoppable. MARU's so far behind in terms of mining. His 1-1's just started. His 4th and 5th barracks aren't finished yet. He's got even army supply, but he's so down in workers. And it just feels to me like Hero has had such a good start to this game. He should, with his standard play, be able to overwhelm MARU. MARU has interference matrix, gets himself a stalker kill, but dude, this is so dangerous being out here. I like that MARU's exerting pressure without really having a real force. It's kind of like, I know I need to at least make you think there's some threat. Because if I just sit at home, I'm going to get killed in this game. 4 more gateways coming in, charge and +1. That's going to be at least 7 gateways. He's building 4 more probes, is Hero. I don't know why he's really making cannon battery, because I think it's so easy for him to go win this game with charge and +1 coming in, that I don't think static defense is what's needed. Man, I love these gateways, though. And he's going to open up the door down here. Dude, this is such a slick move. I love that Hero's added in these gateways all over the map. Rather than leaving warp prisms everywhere that chew up supply, you need gateways anyway. If you could build one in the top left as well, that would just be absolutely mint. +1 air weapons going down for some reason for Hero. Apparently he wants his Phoenix to shoot a little bit harder. Cyclone's doing some damage. The Marines there going to try and take out one of the Phoenix. Not too bad. But as that Templar Archives comes in, this is the real power timing. As soon as this Colossus pops, this should be getting chronoed. I really do feel like Hero should just make a Warp Prism and go warp in Archons and win the game. I don't see Maru surviving. And he kind of knows it. He's building like an armory and depots to try to build like a bit of defensive layers. He's trying to make a 4th command center. He's going to try to go for 2-2. He's really just in turtle mode, and as he should be. Now, for some reason, there's a second Stargate and a Phoenix building right now, which makes no sense. At this stage of the game, you're meant to swap to Blink for your anti-air. Phoenix are well past their use-by date. So building more Phoenix this deep makes no sense. He cancels it. And he's now chronoing Immortal Storm. Okay, so we're going Colossus, Immortal Storm. Second Stargate air weapons. This is a Tempest transition or a Carrier transition. Neither of those is super necessary because the reason this is a bit of a low IQ play potentially for Hero is Maru's the best late game player of all time, and Hero's kind of average at best when it comes to Skytoss. He's thrown a lot of PVZs with Skytoss. I've never really seen his Skytoss much in this matchup because he's such a mid-game master with Stalkers, Disruptors, Colossus, Zealots rotating around and army movement. I think Blink DTs would be a way better investment using all of this money he's got rather than going for a Fleet Beacon right now. But second Stargate Fleet Beacon's on the way. He's got a good army with Storm, though. There's no Ghosts out yet. Storms could ruin Maru. Phoenix run forward, picking up the front line. Storms could be massive. Maru trying to pull back. Big first Storm. Unfortunately, there's no Warp Prism. If he could have dropped a High Templar as well, that could have been big, but with 2 Ravens, easier said than done. Feedbacks on the Ravens could also be massive. Maru frantically trying to run home. This bottom base is getting up right now. Hero, he's trying to build a few Zealots. He's on 11 gateways. I think he could max out and keep pushing this. I mean, guys, the first Ghosts are only now popping. This is what I'm talking about. Maru's position is desperate. How the hell does he ever defend this 4th base? I do not know. Army moving in. Nice split on the Zealot. Second Forge coming in, as well as a 3rd Stargate and a 5th base. Hero playing a bizarre style. I think he's been watching Stats play and has a bit of a stiffy. Getting a little bit excited here, thinking, let's play Skytoss. And to be fair, Stats made Skytoss look exceptional against Classic. Made it look really good against against Clem, and against Beyond in some of his games as well. He looked really good there. Big attack coming in here. He's going to go for it. He's going to go for the bus. Where's the feedbacks on the Ravens? He does get the feedbacks on one Raven, but it was a double feedback on a single Raven, guys, or on a medevac. The other Raven still in full energy. Double interference matrix is pushing him back. Oh my gosh, his army's out of position. Where's his Warp Prism? He's got gateways there. He should be warping in Zealots. He should not be losing this entire army. He should not be losing. Where are his Zealot warp-ins? What is going on? His whole army just gets wiped out of position. His High Templar was so clumped. Every single one got EMP'd. Hero has had all the advantages in this game, but he's playing a style that he's not familiar with. Triple Carrier transition in a clutch game 5. This is not what I would expect from a player who is an expert on the ground and not an expert in the air, but for some reason, he's playing to Maru's favorite stage of the game, which is late game. Maru takes a tactical counterattack, snipes the gold bits, and immediately runs home because he's out of energy on his medevacs. He's out of hit points. This is safe, smart play for Maru. Meanwhile, Hero finally going back to what he should have been doing much earlier. Zealot run-bys, mobility on the ground, doing damage, using the Disruptors and the Storm and whatnot to find the damage that he can. But instead, he's going Carriers. He's forgotten to make +2 air weapons, a very important upgrade right now. I am incredibly critical of Hero's decision-making in this game. And I the moment he started the Stargates, it made no sense. I was telling you guys, a Colossus Archon timing, unbeatable. I don't mind Storm Immortal and doing a timing off that as well. But going Carriers here just makes no sense. It's not something you should do unless you're incredibly good at it. And to be doing this when you're this far ahead, what he's done is he's slowed the pace of the game down. And look at this. Maru's got Mass Command Center building. Maru's got a 5th base. Maru is suddenly in a position where he's gone from way behind to, oh, you know what? I'm actually out upgrading you. Your ground upgrades absolutely suck. You're only now getting 3-1 upgrades. I'm going to counterattack on 2 sides at the same time. Like, you got to split your army really well. Probes are in the open. Maru's so respectful. He's actually only leaving a Marine and a Marauder there, but Hero losing tons of probes. And this is an awkward game from Hero, a game that is very peculiar and very surprising. Widowmine gets itself a probe there as well. Zealot run-by is going to go through the middle, but look, Maru's just poking across the map and then pulling back to be ready for any of these counterattacks. 2 more starports start building. Now, the one thing he's missing, that armory does need more ship weapons. +2 ship weapons is now starting. +2 air weapons is ahead, but remember, you might be thinking, well, that's good, right? If you're ahead on the air upgrades. This is not like TvT Viking Wars. It's more about how good are your air upgrades versus their ground. Because if you don't have +3 attack and some armor upgrades, the Marines and the Ghosts are going to ruin you. Killing a few of his own medevacs to build more Vikings, very smart play there by Maru. Maru is aware that the threat here is supply. He's got 85 workers, which he probably wants to start throwing some of those away in the near future, as well as some more of his Marines and Marauders. because you've got to make sure you have enough supply. If you don't have enough supply, you may just get overwhelmed. Now, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, he runs at the High Templar. That is a very silly move for Maru. I think Maru just wants to throw these units away, but you know what? Actually, once the Archons are gone, he gets 3 High Templar and 4 High Templar, 2 Archons, and he wants to replace that with more Vikings. That's actually a clever trade for Maru. Very clever. The Marines may not have really done that well at the start of the trade, but the Marauders finished it off really nicely. Now, if you're going to play this style, you need more than 2 High Templar, and you need to spread them out. The problem... So why is Hero bad at this comp and stats is good? Because Hero doesn't know how to spread his units out. And I know I say this, it sounds like, oh, how can you be so critical? We know he can't. You guys saw that fight down there. Look at the way he moves his army. Because he doesn't use control groups properly like other players, and he's just very habitually pressing the select all army key, which will clump up his High Templar. We've seen Nightmare play Storm really well on this map, where he'll have a High Templar behind this grass over here, High Templar here, High Templar coming in from every side, and he'll have like 14 High Templar spread across that map. But Hero right here, he doesn't have 14 High Templar, he has 5 or 4, and they are all clumped up on an F2. And that is not something that you can do. Hero is a good player at catching his opponent out of position, thrusting in, and then chaotically microing his units, but his skill set does not lie in this stage of the game. I mean, I'd love to be wrong about this, but it's all about those High Templar, and they're so clumped. They're so clumped, and he's not showing any of the basic habits that you need for this army, which is reserve High Templar, scattered around and spreading out. Hero is one of the best Protoss players in the world, but he uses a mixture of F2 and just boxing stuff. He doesn't really use control groups properly at all. Anti-armor missile does go down on the carriers. Cloaking field gets activated. Carriers launching only a few of their interceptors. I think before you fight, you really want to launch all your interceptors on these turrets. And the turrets aren't done. Great disruptor shot on the Ghost. This is huge. This is a great fight. This is a great fight for Hero. Really good fight, but I think he lost one carrier there. You got to be careful. Those Vikings. Oh, those Vikings not quite enough to one-shot carriers. Get out, Maru. Maru's overcommitted. Okay, a few more Ghosts do go down. Good choice to pull back. He's lost 3 carriers for 12 Vikings. Not a bad trade, but those High Templar are very clumped. Hero wants to push in. 1 EMP could ruin his day right now. There's a lot of missile turrets here as well. You got to be careful about chasing in. These Colossus and these carriers can get shot down. Hero's finally got a 6th base up, but he hasn't really been transferring workers, has he? Yeah, a little bit. He's got this base down here as well. He's got +3 air weapons on the way. No plasma shields just yet. Plasma shields, very important upgrade because EMP usually, yeah, it's good, but it's not going to hit everything necessarily. Nice snipes. Snipes coming in, and that's 2 High Templar getting sniped down. Very nicely done by Maru. Can you guys imagine if he just went into either Storm or Disruptors, whichever one, but he also went Blink DTs and just had like 12 Blink DTs running in from the left while his army roamed the right. I really want to liken this to an MMA fighter who's a really bad wrestler and jiu-jitsu practitioner, a striker who wobbles his opponent and then chooses to tackle the other guy and try to wrestle him to the ground, and you go, why? Just knock him out, mate. And that's really what I feel Hero's done in this game. The High Templar are so clumped on that right side. I mean, don't get me wrong, he hasn't been punished for it yet, but in these last few fights, that's a good spread. But it's just the habit is there. Hero, like, I can't help but see that he's exposing himself to 1 or 2 EMPs and his whole army disappearing because they're just not spreading out enough. These High Templar are way too clumped, and once again, this is what I'm talking about. He's just dropping carriers like flies. The High Templar get EMP'd. He loses 2 carriers, almost loses a 3rd. This is not top tier carrier control, and Hero should know that that's not in his skill set. Game 5 of a decider, a bizarre decision to do this. Marine Marauder trying to pull back. Hero still has a big army. If he can get all the interceptors launched, it's hard to deal with, but these High Templar need to scatter out a little bit to land those storms. He starts to spread them. Good zoning storm. Tickles the Vikings. Oh my god, don't get nuked. No! Oh my god, not like this! Okay, he sees it, he sees it. Nuke comes down, only gets 1 Stalker. Not too bad. That's okay for Hero. Kills the planetary, pulls back. That's a good move. I'd love to see a transition back into a full ground army because there's no libs out, guys. There's not even lib range. I actually feel like Hero could totally go back into ground. 13 gateways. He's only got 1 robo. Oh, I'd really love to see triple robo ground transition and just ditch these carriers because I still think he can win with the ground army. Ooh, Zealot's going to try to come in. Bio catches them. Couple Zealots do get tagged. Liquid Hero is better than this hero? He definitely wasn't. That's a different age of the game, and don't get me wrong, he was very impactful at that time. You got to realize Hero was winning a lot more championships back in those days than he was as well, guys. So as much as I'm criticizing Hero here, and justifiably so, you got to realize he is one of the most clutch Protoss players. Whilst he has some clear weaknesses, and he's kind of stepped into those weaknesses in this game, he's very good. Those High Templar need to spread. Those front High Templar just keep getting EMP'd, and every time they do, 2 to 3 carriers go down. And he's still rebuilding carriers. Oh my gosh, he's really trying to double down on this style. Those High Templar are so clumped on that right side. Oh my gosh. Dude, this is such a dangerous style. So few safety precautions for Hero. His High Templar are incredibly clumped. 4 of them get EMP'd. The Storms do zone out some units. Man, this is panic-inducing watching this. Hero just doesn't have his guard up. His hands are low. And again, the EMPs land every single time. Oh no. Oh no, Maru with an amazing comeback. I'm sorry I'm talking so much about Hero. I mean, Maru's doing an exceptional job to get back in this game. Not many Terrans would come back here, but this is Maru's special skill, and it always has been. Late game TvP, he is a force to be reckoned with. And you know he's one of the few players I would favor versus stats and classics carrier play because he's so good in the late game. So for Hero to play it when he's like nowhere near as good as those guys, for me is mind-numbing. But on the other hand, Hero is facing the best late game Terran in the world. I mean, Maru is an absolute beast. Absolute beast. Mama, say goodbye. Dude, when you have enough Vikings to one-shot a mothership, you know you've got a lot of Vikings. My lord, Disruptors rallying through Disruptors there. Trying to run these Stalker Zealot down to the bottom side. Maru's got the top left. He doesn't care. His income is out of this world. He's got bank. He's perma-maxed. And I gotta say, a rather disappointing final game here for Hero. Yeah, it's such a promising start to this game. His defense with that triple battery. Remember this reserve battery with the overcharge saving the day? Crushed that early game push. And now he just finds himself with, like, he's lost for words. He's making a second Robo. He's completely forgotten to rebuild High Templar after that last EMP wave destroyed him. And Maru showing he knows how to play late game as one of the best players in the world. Hero showing that he should just never build carriers. If I was his coach, I would just be shouting in his ear, I'm taking away your carrier card, man. You're not allowed to build this unit. Only as like a surprise tech switch in PvZ where you go for a sudden timing attack, but you never want to draw the game out when you play carriers as Hero because it's just not your skill set. And look at this. He's just getting wrecked. Mass landed Viking with plus 3-1. Lives overhead. Disruptor shots. Actually gets a few Ghosts and Vikings there, but Hero's out of steam. The units lost tab is going to tell us a nasty story in that top left side. 20,000 resource loss deficit. Maru, great MPs, great Viking micro, and really good ability to come back from behind. I love that he threatened to the watchtower even after his first push failed. He kept acting like, hey, I might go do a big push, even though his army was much weaker. And it's that ability to keep feigning aggression, even whilst way behind, that gives Maru a little bit of that special comeback ability as well. So, well played. I'm a little bit gutted because I feel like Hero, after losing 2 big series to Maru, this should have been the one that he kind of got one over on him, but Maru once again shows, hey buddy, I'm scary in the early game, I'm also scary in the late game. You do not want to fight me. Not in my wheelhouse, not in my home. And Hero is going to be going down as the last Protoss in the tournament. An unfortunate turn of events. Cure and Beyond were the Terrans that slayed the stats and classics of this tournament. The guys who were also looking really good at the start of this event, but did get cleaned out before that top 8 bracket. Disruptor shots coming out. Pretty good spreadies. I mean, you know when you've got mass landed Vikings, you don't even care too much about these disruptor shots landing. You're like, whatever. I've just got so much here. I'm so rich. Maru has 5k minerals in the bank, and he will end up winning an incredible comeback. I've just got to go back and once again point out, guys, after defending that first push, about that 6-7 minute mark, this was an immense lead for Hero. He's up 10 probes with a third base finished. Maru's third's just started. You've got full map control. You've got just absolutely dominant position. You're up 20 supply. The fact that he dropped a pretty quick 4th there was such a smart move, and it was so unlike Hero. And I've always said one of Hero's strengths is his ability to, right when you put him in a box and say, Hero gets ahead, he's going to counterattack, he actually goes against what you expect, and he takes a really fast 4th and probes really hard. And this is such a smart choice for this position, and I really would have set him up for an overwhelming mid to late game finish. But unfortunately, going for the carriers just didn't really make sense, and obviously Maru was really happy to play that. I mean, you see double eBay. I think he saw the third base. No, he didn't see the third base on location, but the double engineering bay tells you all you need to know. And I really feel like, come on, man. Hero should have had this in the bag, but hey, Maru and Disgusting Comebacks, name a more iconic duo. Maru, never count him out. It's never Odie. It's never over, sorry, until the fat lady sings, or in this case, the small Korean boy sings. He is an absolute monster, and he gets to the top 4 once again. GG, well played, Maru.